Good afternoon, traders. This is I'm AJ of Awesomecalls Trading, the head moderator in the equity room. Welcome to our Friday webinar. I'm going to go over this morning's action. We had a lot of fun this morning. A lot of traders came in and just nailed these calls. We had a really good list together. I think out of 14, possibly, I think maybe 2 didn't work the way we wanted. Right now, the market is selling off on a Friday afternoon. There is kind of like no bottoms in place yet. So what we're doing is for personally myself, the chat room is I'm looking to build a position with Netflix. So I started around the 340 range. I added some at 335. I will add at 330, and I will add at 325. And my average probably when I'm done being the 330 range, and it won't take much to pop it. And so I'm going to take advantage of what the market's giving us right now. So, and remember now, Netflix is a $450 price target, mostly on the average across the board. So this is just really nice. What it's given us this morning was 355, and we nailed this. So also, a couple other nice stocks that are coming to play are Baidu, and right now the room is watching Yandex. This has had a 2-day sell-off, and I'm a buyer probably around the 25 area to start. And but this is really accelerating to the downside, and so I mean right here looks like we thought this could be the line in the sand, but right now it looks like this could get filled down here. So anyway, we're just going to let things sell off and see where it is, but I do think that buying Yandex into this weakness, it should be able to pop. This morning it was a great overnight. We woke up to money this morning. We did 2 trades that overnighted. We took Yandex and it gapped up over 2 points from yesterday's close, as you can see. We were buying it here, and it opened up here, pre-market. We sold here before the sell-off. And the other great trade that we did was, what was it called? Help me out, traders. URI. I overnighted. This was a great trade. I was picking it up at the 118.27 area was my fill, and the stock ran all the way to 123. I sold at 120. I think it was 120.90 or something like that before it took off another 2 more. So that was a really, 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 really nice wake-up call. Paycheck, Pay City, whatever you want to call it. So this morning we had some really good plays. I'm going to go over them, and but those are the 2 that we overnighted that did very, very well, and I think Yandex will come back at some point, but right now it's just let the market sell off. So URI, and what was the other one we just spoke of? Yandex. Okay, a couple of good plays. This was our morning list, and before we begin our morning list, I want to share with you, we have some new additions to our great chat room, both on the option side and the equity side. And I want to introduce the moderators in here. We have quite a bit in the equity chat room, which is where I'm speaking of. We have AJ, of course, which is myself. Jenny Moore, which is a great short seller. Raphael, he's a bio small cap momentum trader. Dave, the trader, he's an incredibly quick, fast on alerts. We have Fire Trader. He does long, short, and equity stocks. He's really good, very talented trader. And we just added a great scan alert trader from the TI scan world. It's B Trades, and he's just been phenomenal. He gave us a stock this morning. I think it was PLAG, PLAG, which was just an incredible. On the option side, of course, we have Levi, most incredible, talented option trader, very transparent. If he's wrong, he's wrong. If he's right, he's right. You know, and he is just a talent beyond words when it comes to options. He's got a feel like I have a feel for stocks. You know what, traders? I'm double checking to see if I'm green, because I'm almost green. No, not yet. A little bit more to go. My average right now on Netflix is 337.50. So I'm almost there. Also, we have, of course, Jamie of GED Money. Christian, very talented option trader as well. We added $10 calls. Levi brought him in. He's extremely talented, strong following, great option trader. Dark Side Trades is also a moderator in there, and of course Brandy Joe with her journey building small account into a nice account. So we're going to go over today's plays and ideas. So we're going to go over pick about 5 or 6, and we'll just go through them. So let's start with the number 1 and number 2 picks in the room. And hold on, I'm just double checking everything. Good, good, good. Yep, I got another buck to go. Okay, and we're going to go over CNET and NCTY. Now, CNET, a lot of Chinese names have been in play lately. And hold on, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm almost green. I need 80 more cents. And I'm already green on, I'll be green on Netflix. So he's playing Neo, Charles. Neo, N-I-O. Okay, we did a stock called CNET. Now, CNET was gapping up this morning, as you can tell. And a lot of Chinese names have been in play lately, small cap, momentum plays. And so what we've done is here's CNET, and here is CNET for today. Oh my goodness, 15 more cents. Almost there. Almost there. I'm sorry, I'm trading Netflix live right now. I took it 340 out of 335, and I'm almost green with my average, so almost there. It's kind of fun. Anyway, CNET was gapping up, as you can see, and it had a pretty solid move this morning in pre-market. And what we did on CNET was we played this to the we made this I think our number 1 pick this morning, and we wanted to short this stock. So our main idea was to short the stock. There was no news on it. It was just being pushed up, and I felt strongly that I told traders anything above 4 scaling short, put it in writing. I said the stock would go down to 250 and under and come right back down. And as you can see, we were pretty much right on the money on that. And I'll show it to you right here. CNET gapping up, anything above 4, take it down to 340 and under. This was our number 1 pick. Again, we have a lot of short sellers in the room. They come in, they look for a small cap stock, and we oblige. And we found them this great trade called CNET. And again, if you don't have much money to work with, 1,000 shares is only $4,000, which is like $800, $600 in cash. 6 times buying power is 3,600. It took 500 shares, borrowing only 2,000 of the buying power, and you would have made it a point. Looks like a point and a half on 500 shares. 1,000 shares at $4,000, you would have made $1,500 today on $1,000. The next trade that we decided to give everyone in the room, and this is a combination of the great Gianni and myself, and this NCTY was making a solid move this morning on, really, to be honest with you, the news, in my personal opinion, was garbage. But you know, they had an offer sheet on a table. It didn't mean that it was locked, stamped, and ready to go. It was just an offer sheet. And I kind of laughed at it, and I couldn't understand. I read it 5 or 6 times, and so I just made a decision to call a short on the stock, and that's really what I stuck my head in. I told everyone start scaling in short around, I think it was $8 this morning in pre-market, and then I said give it room to 9 to add. Don't be afraid if it hits 10, and the stock will come all the way back down to 5 and under. And well, it had a momentum, and it came, actually, there's the 5 spots, so, and under. I can't really take credit for the full move because, again, I was looking for the chat room for 5 and under. But it really worked out really, really, really well. So it was a great trade. And Gianni was shorting in pre-market up here, and he was adding all the way room to 950. I think his stop was in pre-market. So he was building a nice, beautiful position. And when it pulled, he took a quarter, then he took another half, and then he took the rest. It was just an incredible Gianni Moore short. So, okay. The next one we did, we're going to give recognition to trade that we got a great alert in the room called PLAG, and from a new moderator here named B Trades. He alerted about right here off this breakout that volume was starting to come in, and of course, you know, when you're in the greatest chat room in the world, if we take notice of it, it just seems to get momentum behind it, and that's why a lot of traders come in here. You know, it just takes that one little trade where I'll just a couple comments. You know what, I like it, and I'll take a position, and then the thing will just rip. And I love it. I love this great room of ours that we've built over the last 4.5 years. So on this particular one, I got interested at $5.70, and I was like looking at it here. I'm like, okay, traders, I like it here at 570. I'm going to rip it through 7, then we'll see where it goes from there. And it just had a mind of its own. Very little selling, and now the stock is halted. So we got a couple of people in the room that are short selling the stock, and hopefully when it opens, it should just plummet to 8 or 7, and they can cover their positions at the open and be good. But for us as traders, we were not. I think once it got to 9, we were kind of stopping, backing off, and for the most part. But the stock just had a mind of its own, so it was a really, really good play for the entire chat room. So. All right, and the next trade that we did, so I wanted to plug that one in, called PLAG. Thank you, Brad. And Brad's been giving us alerts all day, so it's awesome. The next trade that we did was a stock called Team. Now, Team issued some lower guidance on their earnings, but there were a lot of stocks defending that, a lot of trades being defended. So a lot of analysts were defending the stock this morning and saying buying a weakness. And I'll just kind of just show you, you know, what I looked at this morning when I was reading. I was going through my fly on the wall, and I was reading it. And let me see if I can find it. Can't seem to find it, but let me get it up here and then move it over here so you can see it. All right, and let me show it to you. All right, and this is Fly on the Wall. This is what I use through my services at Newswire. And as I'm scrolling down, the first thing I saw was Concord screaming, which is a tier 3-4 firm, screaming, buy the weakness. Oh my goodness, buy the weakness. And they even put a $90 price target on it. So that told me right then and there, as a professional day trader, that on this pullback, it'll probably pop to 80 at the open before it sells off. And the analyst felt strongly the stock would hit 90 before the end of the year and has a buy rating of 100. And for myself, I just wanted to pop at the open to 90 and then a nice gradual sell-off. Well, let's take a look. Actually, pop it open to 80 and then a sell-off. So if you look at my item number 8, pop it open to 80 plus, scale in short, and enjoy the ride. And so, again, I have short sellers and equity traders in here. So each of them were playing what they wanted to do on a stock. Let me show you how it worked out. Worked out pretty nice. Pop at the open to 80, as you can see, topped off, and then just sold off. Just pretty much textbook, and just analyzed the stock, made a decision, stuck with it, and it paid dividends. Next stock on our mind was PayPal. PayPal really blew out earnings. I mean, they had awesome earnings, great guidance, great metrics. So I immediately felt that we would definitely get a squeeze at the open. My idea was on PayPal that the stock would probably open up 84, 80, probably 85 at the open, and then kind of fade off. If you went long in the room, you just simply got paid. You didn't have to think. You just pulled the trigger, 100, 200 shares, and just let it rip because it didn't stop. And as you can see, the stock actually, we went long here. That was the idea. Pop it open, and it just ripped to 86 in just a matter of a few minutes, and then just sold off. So I was looking initially for a point, maybe 2 points, but it ended up paying out, you could see, 3 to 4 points, 3 points. So really nice rip on that. I'm actually officially now green on on Netflix. So yay, that was not hard. But I'm going to hold Netflix. Matter of fact, you know what I'm going to do? I am going to put a sell order in while I'm talking at 340. Is that okay with you guys? All right, sell. Let's see, 450 shares. Sell Netflix. I'm doing a limit order on my platform right now. And I'm going to put 340. Okay. And that's what I'm going to do. And if it goes there while I'm talking, you'll hear it go. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. Place the order. And the order is placed. Okay. Now, PayPal did really, really good. Now, what was happening was Square was popping on PayPal's numbers. And so when I looked at Square this morning, as you can see, it closed here around 76, but kept up this morning on the market being up to almost 77.50. So what I felt was that this would actually pop higher because of PayPal numbers. And so what I did is I issued an alert pre-market to go long Square at the open, and I have it right here, and go long at 75.50 and look for a pop at the open, and the stock should run probably to, I think I said $78 I wrote in writing. So, and why I do that is that, when these great day traders come in here, they just want to know, like, where do you think it'll stop, cash out, so that way they have range. They know that they can make a point and a half on the trade, and they can walk away. If they take 500 shares, they walk in, they get a point and a half, they make 750, they go back to bed. They're literally done in seconds. This literally took probably, as you can tell, 2.5 minutes to make a ton of money. So if you came in here, first day in the room, took 100 shares, 7,700 buying power at 75.70, and it ripped to 78, and it just ripped. It was that. It was all done. And then once it hit 78 area, I told traders to go ahead and scale in short, and as you can tell, the stock came right back down to 74. Really, really nice trade for everyone involved. Okay, so we did PayPal and Square, right, and Team. And let's do one more trade. This one we're going to talk about is Skechers. Now, this I have to applaud the chat room, because the chat room was simply phenomenal today. The way they traded Skechers. The idea was that I felt that the stock, based on the report that I read, the stock was up too much. All right, I felt the stock would give back and try to get down to 29, 28 again. But before it does that, I figured it would rip. Now, once this started ripping at the open, we basically had to sit back and we were starting to build positions into it. Some of us got in early based on my notes, and some of us got more patient because I kept calling out the stock has more rip, more rip, more rip. And so what it does, I mean, nobody can really tell where the top is. We can obviously do our very, very best to accommodate the day trader. But this one, we kind of, once we started seeing this build here, we felt very confident, both myself and Janny, that this would be probably a 32 topping on it. And so we were starting to really scale in. And Janny made, again, Janny Moore, most talented short seller I've ever seen in the world. He just simply killed it. I mean, now, keep in mind, we have a ton of people going long, and not to say that they didn't make 2 or 3 points to the upside, but Janny, he called the top right here, and he went short. I think it was 31.75 or something like that, and he put stops at 32. So he basically put his stops. He said, I'm going to be firm at 32, but I'm going to go start at 31.80 or something like that. And the room just went crazy. It just went crazy because it just, There was a lot of traders that were red in it, and we just said, be patient, be patient. We were taking money at 31, taking money at 30, and some people actually waited down here in the 29. It was a wonderful trade, but it taught traders to be patient. It taught traders to, you know, learning the art of scaling in. But I had a trader in here that did 4,000 shares on his average around 31.40 and cleared, I think, a point and a quarter, only for it to drop another point. But he was happy with his money because he was seriously red. I had others that were shorting a little too soon and just added at the top and just got paid. I mean, it was just a wonderful trade. Okay, and so Skechers was a big payday for many people in the room. All right, so that's where we're at right now. I really want to thank you for joining today's ideas and calls. Thank you so much for joining us. I look forward to trading with you on Monday. I will have another 12 to 13, 14 ideas for you prepared, and we look forward to bringing you aboard. And again, every morning I'm up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I prepare an analyst report of notes of my ideas, what I'm thinking. I mean, just typical plays like a Baidu. Here's a Baidu call, as you can see. I'm showing you right here. Here's Baidu, and this was just just a basic long at 193 at the open, go to 197, no brainer, scale in short, write it back down. That was the call. So if you look at Baidu, it was just basically long at the open. Right here, I said go long at 193. If it pulled to 192, add on it. Stock would go to 197. As you can see, it did 197, and then I said short the stock. Just basic 101. Didn't even really have to think on that one. It was just come in, make your money, and that's what we did. So I will see you all on Monday. Thank you so much, and I'll stop the recording.